Okay, so last year, at the end of last year actually, I was tasked with making a short film for my media class in school. I've been pretty confident in my technical skills and camera operations. I naively thought that it would be a pretty smooth and simple procedure. Newsflash, it wasn't. So I thought today I could make a video just discussing some of the lessons that I had to learn and overcome throughout this whole procedure of making a short film. So without further ado, let's get into it. The very first thing I wanted to talk upon was the inevitability of problems that will occur. Like legit, I promise no matter how much planning you do for this short film, there will always be times where shit hits the fan and doesn't go the way you want. And I can guarantee you that. And this can happen at any time of the production. It can happen in script writing, storyboarding, filming, editing, post-production, color grading, any of it. For example, when I was filming two of my main scenes in my short film, there were some problems that happened. The actor arrived late, so then we had to shoot later into the night. Everything got darker. I had to pump my ISO levels on my camera higher, thus resulting in more grainy footage that was way harder to color grade. So it kind of lost a bit of that quality. And that was just one of the single issues that happened. Even the simple things like stuff you storyboarded not coming to life when you're filming as you envisioned it in your head. And do not get me started on all the teeny little mistakes that you'll start to notice when you put everything into editing. Now, thankfully, a lot of the times these sorts of problems can be fixed pretty easily by things like refilming or, adjustments on set like lighting and composition adjustments. But sometimes they can't be, and you have to just live with it. So my recommendation is I would try to not start the idea and the production of a short film with the expectation of exactly what you want in mind, because realistically, what you think you want to get out of this is not going to be exactly like it will be. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the phrase of fixing it all in editing. Now, usually I actually stand by this rule and I use it a lot. I'll often not reshoot stuff because I know and I'm confident in my ability in post-production that I can fix stuff like that. However, that sort of phrase that I stood by mainly applies to photography. And when it comes to things like videography, cinematography, and actually the production of a film, it is exponentially harder to edit these things out in post-production. Unless you are extremely experienced in post-production and editing softwares and maybe motion graphics or 3D work, all that sort of stuff, then even things like getting audio clearer or removing distractions or masking things out, especially with video, are so tricky. And that's one of the main problems that I found. And because I stuck by this rule so much throughout the production of my short film, and this is particularly about filming, a lot of the shots that I took, I just kind of thought to myself, it'll have to do, I'll be able to fix it in editing. And then that resulted in me going into the post-production stages and not being able to fix them and just having to deal with what I have. Whereas I could have simply done the solution of refilming it and just getting it perfect. The next thing that I wanted to point out, and I'm sure you've heard this time and time again, but gear does not matter when it comes to filming a short film. The amount of times that I see new creators, new photographers, new videographers, new filmmakers fixate over the best of the best gear and how they need it and before they can create anything great. And I don't blame you, because I used to think like that, and I still do sometimes. I still look at my setup nowadays, even though it's an amazing setup and it's costing me a bucket load of money, but I still think if I just get this thing, or if I just get this or this new lens, then I'll be able to film this, then I'll be able to do this vlog, then I'll be able to get this angle. But it's purely just wasting your time thinking about this sort of stuff, because it's not gonna make you a better filmmaker like that. The only reason this gear is brought onto us and introduced into us is because it allows the very best of the best to maximize their abilities on certain cameras and do very ultra specific things. If you're considering looking at new gear and upgrading or something, what I would recommend is not getting a new camera, not getting a new lens, unless obviously they're broken or something like that, is instead looking into lighting. And not only purchasing lighting gear for your films, but also learning how it works, learning how to do different setups when it comes to filmmaking, how you can portray certain emotions of happiness, mystery, isolation, these sorts of emotions. How can you use lighting to enhance those? Because lighting is a lot of the time forgotten about when it comes to filmmaking in beginner people, and they always think that, lighting will just have to do, but lighting can truly make or break your shots. And one extra add-on that I like to stick by is pairing great sound design and audio with great lighting is all you need to make a good film. This quality really doesn't matter, honestly. You could shoot it in 720p, but if you have great lighting and great audio, it can really change the film entirely. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and it's probably the thing that taught me the biggest lesson throughout this whole process, is creating a story that carries meaning and substance to it. Of course, I love the film that I made. I love how it came out. I love all the hard work that I put into it, and it was definitely worth it, all that hard work. However, I wish that I had made something that had a bit more of a stronger connection to me as a person and had a bit more of a story to it. Because what would have been better is spending a lot more time at the very beginning of the production, you know, in the ideation stage, and really thinking about a film that would truly satisfy me once I've finished it. Regardless of the angles and all the technical stuff, what's a story that I genuinely want to share with people that would make an impact and that I genuinely have a connection and that I care about? And thus creating a film and a storyline that's more fulfilling would help me maintain that passion throughout the whole period. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest bits of advice that I can give you, is really try and think about what you want to make and how you want this to look to other people, what sort of impact you want to have. Because overall, once you finish that short film and you really care about that story, you really care about the message that it's sending, it's going to be way more rewarding for you and you're going to feel way more satisfied with the end product. In the end, creating a short film is something amazing. It's really fun to create something like this. It's really fun to experiment with, you know, all sorts of different things when it comes to scripting and lighting and camera works and editing and all that sort of stuff. It's so fun, and it's definitely something that I want to do again this year. So yeah, I really recommend you guys have a think about something that you want to make. Have a think about a film that you'd love to create. Doesn't have to be long, can be 5 minutes, can be 3 minutes, can be 2 minutes, can be 10 minutes, can be 30 minutes. Who cares? Make something amazing. Make a film that tells a great story and a great message that you want to share with the world. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe, like, all that sort of YouTuber shit that everyone says. You know what I mean. All that sort of stuff. Also, be sure to let me know down below in the comments or DM me or whatever what sort of content you want to see on this channel. I'm trying to do once a week posting a video on here, so let me know what sort of stuff you want to see. Could be anything. I'm currently also filming a week in the life video, so that should be out quite soon. And yeah, just a lot of sort of editing tips, filming tips, creating tips, you know, documenting, vlogging, all that sort of stuff. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.